Hi, my name's Lee Honish, and welcome to Home Advocates. First, I want to thank you on behalf of myself and the team. Currently, as I do this, it's November 24th, the day before Thanksgiving, creating a brand new updated video. Our director's board is as such. The real man in charge is Derek Kelly. He is our CEO. And our chief operating officer, basically the guy, I call him the moral compass, but more importantly, he runs business and day to day and is just an amazing individual, Fred Solomon. You can reach any of these people by calling 833-969-4673. I would ask that you watch this video for the next 10 or 15 minutes as I walk you through the system. And if you have any questions, automatically notify Derek. Remember, you have a free one-on-one with Derek, right? So he's going to be the one to walk you through all of this, and I'm pretty sure he'd want me to ask you this question. Hey, did you watch that video with Lee first? Good question. Well, you have. Or maybe you were on the call when I did this live the very first time for all of my students who will probably blast me with questions and went, I probably should have shot that in the video. So if there's another video behind this that I had to do after the call because people brought up great questions that I had to go back through, or maybe I'll just call it the bonus footage after this when they ask questions and we'll go through the system. But whatever the case, try to get this section done before you request your one-on-one with Derek. It would make him very, 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 very happy. And when Derek's very, 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 very happy, he will listen to you and your questions almost 24/7. It's a pretty simple formula on our team. So let's go through it. This is the Home Advocates website. First thing when you sign up, you should check to see if you're on the front page of that website. I think one of the biggest values when you sign up for the program is the fact that you are now officially a Google search. So I'm going to open an incognito window right now just so you can see that I'm not stacking this, right? I'm going to go to Google. Everyone knows Google. Because one of the best things you can do if you have a business card or not is say to someone, hey, just type in Home Advocates. They're a national home advocacy program, whatever script we've come up for this week, right, that is effective. Wow, Facebook has moved in front of my main site. I'm still okay with that, by the way, but that's new. That's an update in the last week. Facebook outed me a little bit. I've been posting a lot to it. But the second line and the third line, and that's pretty amazing, right? So in order what they're looking at on the screen, they can join us on social media and in turn follow you. Then our main website, it tells you what we are. We are a distressed property solution, and on that front page, you are now listed for the first time ever on a website with a Google search that will not be hard for, say, a homeowner, period, right? Maybe I should add, hey, are you a traditional buyer or seller? Here's why you should use a home advocate. Probably should create something like that in the future for the system now that I think about it. Because really, from a real estate standpoint, right, it's about being able to be found. I think, I'm going to say this a lot, I think, and if you don't know and you're first time seeing me, I think and I know. I think from my perspective, when I'm doing research on anything, right, I research it online. And one of the things that I have seen out of real estate agents and investors historically is it's difficult to find you online. And I know this for a fact because Derek and I would try to call people and follow up with them to show up to our live events when we started this about 9 months ago. 6 months ago, we were on the road. But when we go out on the road, I noticed, as well as Derek, that it's really hard to find you guys online. If I'm hiring an agent, if I'm hiring a therapist, if I'm hiring a caterer for my next event, I'm going to look them up online. I'm going to see what's going on with them. Everybody who is signed up for the program should be listed here. The way I get the data out of Kajabi limits the way that I can put it on this page. And I do apologize about that. So when you sign up, hopefully you handled this. You can go back in on Kajabi, right, as an individual and change your information on the inside of Kajabi. And I'll show you. I've never had to do it, but let's go through it together, right? We're looking at the back end, so I want to preview it. I don't want to preview that. There we are. So you can click on it, settings. You got to log in. You just edit your information here, right? It's a pretty straightforward thing. Wow, we even have a really good contact page right now. I got to update this. Another spot I have to update that I didn't know about. So there you go. If you're on there and you don't like the way you are on the front page of the website, which should be literally the first thing you do, and I'm doing this in real time with you and saying what I would look for. What you're watching is me interacting with the system just like you, and what my logic was when I built it. So you're listed basically by your first name alphabetically. I'm working on maybe state, I may be working by last name, but it's really difficult, and this just has to do with how you sign up and put your name here. And then the way it gives me the information out of Kajabi, which is the platform we're going to be talking about. All right. So you have two options when you signed up, right? And I'm going to tell you the difference here because maybe you want to upgrade or something. You just got to tell Derek. So you probably landed here, and this is where you started your journey to start the program. There are two different programs altogether. I don't say this. I probably said it on the webinar if you didn't make it all the way through. If you join for $49.97, we automate everything. We provide you your leads. We have a call center already in place. It's kind of my test subject room. It is a one-time enrollment fee. You click on the link, and when you invest $5,000, if you did the $997, because I'm going to go through your system as well, next, right? It's a very stripped down, very basic system. I just realized I'm not going to do a walkthrough through their system. How crazy is that? I'm going to edit this. I'm doing this in real time with you. This doesn't make sense. I need to start here. It's the only people who would see it are there. Yeah, right. They don't get a walkthrough. Do they get a walkthrough? I guess I would have to shoot a walkthrough for them. Wow. Okay. Sorry. I didn't really think this through all the way. You're also watching where I'm going to have to edit when I go back. Okay, cool. You learn a lot when you do these things live. I don't know everything. I have an idea of what I'm shooting. No script. I'll just reset. And we did the first part, and now I'll do the second part for the next 15 minutes. All right? Everybody get on the same page. It's hilarious. I'm killing myself. All right. I'm going to start right here. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, you're ready to dive in now that you've checked the front page of the website. So, right here is where you need to be when you sign into your Kajabi back page. If you're not seeing this, you should have a little picture of yourself. You can upload it or not, but make sure that profile is correct. Secondly, go to My Library. That is where the individual programs sit, and you will have 3 of them on your screen. The first one, the Home Advocate Marketing System, is this video that you're watching right now that you were recommended to watch before you did everything else. Second one is our Home Advocates community. You can go in and ask questions. We're notified 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are times, obviously, that I don't check emails and I cannot do it. Home Advocates goes out to all of the board members and notifies all of the students that there is a comment on the board, and either it will get answered by the group or by me or by all of us, depending on what the answer is. If you want to just put a comment or a positive note up, you can do it there as well. Easy enough. Which takes us to the hub. This is the big program. This is the one you watched on the webinar. This is your tutorial for each of these modules. Let's start with the 12-step program. I'm going to open it right up for you. There are 3 items in the particular tab. The first is the actual step-by-step program. The second is a video of me tagging. This became a long-standing debate, and I cannot recommend you watching this video first and then skipping over, right? Because this is just a video of me going out using a FedEx office to create and set everything up. The third is first appointment, and Gilbert, one of our let's be honest, one of our friends now. Everybody in the program's our friends. Wow, that's true. Everybody here is like family. Sorry, it was a revelation moment for me. Gilbert was kind enough to shoot a video about his very, very first, and he didn't have a real estate license at the time. Now he's a licensed person. So this is I'm glad he shot it also for himself to have a little snapshot about how he felt then to now. It's always good to show yourself progress. But we like to show it to everybody because basically he made the leap of faith, went on the appointment, and it is an extraordinary outline of what your first appointment will look like, right? The second, my video, it's guerrilla style. It's me with a cell phone going out and putting up tags so you don't get it wrong. And if you haven't figured out, because I do this in my presentation for a while. All right, let's go through it step by step. This shouldn't take more than 2 minutes. Step 1, click here. Send an email to us and let us know your city so we can send you your leads. Simple as that. Number 2, order your Avery labels, right? We talked about it probably on your live presentation or whatever video you saw. Order it. You can use whatever you want. Please just make sure that it doesn't stick to the property permanently. I cannot stress this enough. Number 3, click and download the call center, right? And you just download them onto your system. Can't make it any easier than that. You print them out right from here. Phone number's already on them. Everything's ready to go. It's a template. Print them onto the repealable labels, right? Next, I'm going to add this. I didn't get it quite done in time for shooting of this video, but you'll see a button right next to it that says download your postcards. That's right. Download your postcards. There they are. Same concept, right? You can get these printed with whomever you want. I would recommend using a title company. I'll see whether or not I need to do a complete offshoot video with this. I think they're great handout cards. I think they're also great postcards, right? So as a handout card, if you're making and having someone print these, it's got your call center number on the front. You're going to write your name and a tracking number, right? That'll help you remember it in your own notes. If you're going to leave it at a property or give it to someone, put a tracking number on the back so you can keep track of it in place and time. This is designed really for mass production, right? Your name goes in the home advocate line and then a tracking number, right? Like their APN. Make sure to include your initials. I'm going to keep saying it again. Initials, initials, initials. We're going to actually look at some live leads to make sure you guys completely understand that here in just a second. Tracking number. Then you can put the address if you want to send it right underneath it. Hand printed, have a better result. You know, I can go into all this stuff, but you got a couple of different designs to work with. I will be making more in the future. You'll be able to download them as a bulk. You can use whatever printer you want. Many title companies right now are sending out postcards for people. And if you can find a title company right now as a real estate agent that will send out postcards like this with pre-printed tracking numbers and initials, right? Cool. I've been mentally working on a strategy where you can almost send them out blindly, but I think I'm going to use that strategy and do it for the overall company, right? And send them out through a title company. And when we get a lead in a city or a state, because you guys all get unique areas, we'll hand them out. If it comes up that it's somebody in a county where somebody's always closer, it'll go by your office. Let's just get it clear. I'm always fair. I'll figure out how to make sure to hand these out. But I think we're going to start mass mailing for the company, and I'll just know that these people want a conversation, and I'll make sure that you guys, because you're in a select group, right? So if you're watching this video, you're not with the general population of real estate agents and investors. They have a very basic program. They don't have this kind of communication with me, and they don't have the exact same system. Their system is totally different. This is, it's the difference between driving an Accord, really nice and very economical and very wonderful, and driving a Ferrari. They'll both get you from point A to point B and get you what you're after. This version that you're in right now, and all the people who signed up early, this is my Ferrari. This is my masterpiece to mitigation and niche for everything. Okay? So know the difference. Though when we do a coaching call, say on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, and I'm talking about marketing, there are a group of people that have to pull their own leads, right? They have to get their own call center in order. They have a lot to do. And they've got to get it right. And it'll be hard to say what they actually do with some of these marketing pieces. I think I priced it correctly so that not everybody gets involved. But it is economical and affordable, and it works, and it won't affect you guys. You guys have unique data. We'll have leads coming in. I'll be buying 30, 60, 90-day data when the FICO system changes out. You guys are always unique. You're always the special group, period. If you're watching this video right now, know how special you are. That particular group, when you encounter them, probably will have their own wristbands at a live event, which is coming up in March. Make sure to be there. We're trying to expand it right now. If you're watching this video, hopefully I won't have to reshoot this section, but every March we do a live event. You're invited. I give you guys special prices. We just split the cost on the room, and then we talk about this stuff all day long. Cool? Cool. All right. But yes, if you're watching this video, I will make sure you guys are different from Gen Pop. It's like the Titanic. You'll be on the upper decks. So that's funny to me. So let's go back to the step-by-step and where you might hit a snag, right? So you got those all downloaded, right? Next, send us an email and let us know you're going out, right? Recommending that you go out on Mondays and Wednesdays, since the call center will set it up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There are some of you that are doing it all the time. It's fine. I'm not going to have a problem with that, right? As long as all of your appointments are being met. But remember, I'm looking at your leads. I know when people are not showing up for appointments. And I know who's naughty or nice. If you are naughty, I will revoke you. Okay? I will just... You're going to mess it up for everybody else. You can't be a spoiled brat in the big kids room. Yeah. You have to sit at the adult table. Is it clearly almost Thanksgiving? You have to sit at the adult table and behave a little bit, right? There's no flinging butter. There's no not showing up on appointments. You are the top echelon of everything that I expect, right? I know that the lower tier members are going to screw things up and not take it as seriously as you. I'm going to make sure they don't screw it up for you, which is why they're in their own separate group, if that makes sense. So in doing that, just tag on Monday and Wednesday. Put 12 and 12 up. Only do it for a week or two. If you don't get a result, you need to notify me immediately. I'm a little bummed out when people don't notify me much sooner, if that makes sense, right? Then prepare your marketing pieces, put them in order, mark them down, use Root Excel, right? These are all very self-explanatory. Once you get to this point and you've done all this and you've watched this video with me at exactly this moment, right? Because this takes you all the way through it, setting it up. There's videos to make sure. Just read the steps. I'm not asking you to start printing and doing these things. Now you should get your one-on-one with Eric at this moment. You've now watched me explain it. You should now go through this for an hour, because really about the actual mechanical tagging and then the actual mechanical conversion should be the bulk of what you do on your one-on-one, not a walkthrough of the system. That is not an effective use of your time. The second one is the face-to-face method. I'm very big on it. I'm sure I did it in the live presentation you saw. I'm going to change the templates up a little bit more so you can basically just print them out from here. You don't even have to put your information on them. So I'm going to update these. They will just be generic home advocates. And all you'll have to do when you meet someone is write your name on the back and put your cell phone number. So there should be a video here in the future, probably in the next couple of weeks from when I initially shot this. So if you're looking at it, I changed my mind. That happens a lot when I see things that need to be created for the system. But I'm going to make this a generic Home Advocates business card that you can print out as is, print it out at your local Kinko's, whatever. I'm also going to look into turning it into a digital business card where you could just walk around and like fling it to people like a picture, right? So if you meet someone, boom, boom, right, here it is. I don't know. I'll look into it. So we'll see where this goes, but this is still by far my favorite way to connect and meet, and it's simply based on our CEO, Derek Kelly, who has this amazing ability to go out and meet people. And I thought, well, with my lack of people skills, how do I go out and meet people? I'd want a testimonial. I'd want them to be able to look me up online. I'd like to have a digital card. Like, all these things are built for me. So when I go, well, I fix broken real estate and I help people who've missed payments, right? And I do say that. That's not the number one thing I say. The number one thing I say is usually market-based, which is, what do you do? I help people get more of what they want, right? So I use the same methodology when I'm either talking about my marketing company, right? Or I'm talking about getting property. So when I meet people and they go, what do you do? I help people fix broken real estate. And that's a big deal, right? What do you mean? Yeah, people have missed payments. COVID is a real thing. Their government isn't fixing it. You just throw catchwords out there. Don't, right? Here's testimonial. Here's my information. Do you know someone, right? Write my info on the card. Hey, better yet, why don't you open up the phone? You saw this all in my pre-training or on the webinar. You're watching it again. I probably don't hammer on this topic nearly enough because I do appreciate this methodology. Because people every day ask me, what do I do for a living? They do. Even me. And I'm a pretty private guy. I still get people, what do you do? I help people get more of what they want. That's one answer. I help people fix broken real estate. It depends on the situation for me. If you've got multiple hustles, then learn that script and read the situation and put a little spin on it. Either one works, right? For me, because it's congruent to me. So be congruent for you. All right? Now, back to the hub that you're watching. Coaching calls. I just updated this. So when you click on coaching calls right now, it's very, very simple. Just click on the very first link and make sure you're signed up for all three of the coaching calls. These are the Zoom links for all three of our coaching calls each week. As a note, everybody in the group below you is on these coaching calls as well. I'm already doing them. Pretty simple. But they will be on those calls too. So if you hear strange questions about people asking about getting data for themselves, right? Obviously, they're in the lower tier. You get your data sent by Derek, right? I don't want to find out later on that you've been tirelessly pulling data off of Realty Track or Property Radar, right? We provide that for you. We get you unique data. We're not going to do it unless you ask for it. Got it? That way I know you got skin in the game. There's no other way to keep you motivated except making you do certain things. And they are very minor things like, hey, Derek, can I get some more stuff? Right? Hey, can I get some help with follow-up? Put some skin in the game. You got to ask me. Hey, Lee, would you call this person? Don't make the blind assumption that I'm just going to do this for you, right? That's crazy. And it creates no value in what we do here for a living, right? Including Derek's help. So make sure you're registered for all three. Just click on the links. If your link on an email does not work, always come to this page. This page will always be updated and correct. And then below that, instead of putting up individual videos, it'll make everyone crazy. Just click on the link right here and access the past coaching calls. It'll take you directly to the video page, right? And it's everything that I create, period. If you know nothing about YouTube, I just make it unique. So if you come in through this link, you basically are looking at the whole catalog. So you should be able to access 100% of everything I've done systematically for the last, actually it goes back to Bartels. So there's a lot here, including some oldies but goodies if you want to see me in some oldies but goodies. Wow. It says 3 years ago, which isn't really accurate. I've had my account turned off and on. 9 years. The oldest video in here is 9 years ago. And I got a timeout on here for some of the videos I shot because I was a little aggressive towards other real estate marketers, to be perfectly honest. They're not incredible, crazy view rates on our sites, right? I need to get, you'll see a few. I try to get everything up, including all the stuff from our individuals. So once the podcasts and videos are up and rolling successfully, you'll be able to come here and look at what people are putting out. And maybe you'll get an idea on how to shoot content, because the red marketing module will be on here in the future. There will be an update or an adjunct, I guess, to this video. You guys will be the only ones who will be able to access that. Red marketing is only for you. I don't think it'll be on the lower programs at all, but you'll be able to see it and implement it yourself. I've spent a year getting it right. I think the only way to do it is if I physically do content with you to give you long explanation, because I got off topic. More editing. I'm going to have to reshoot this anyway. It's all very ridiculous. It was a great idea on paper. I realize now in hindsight how ridiculous it all is. Whatever. I don't know if any of it's usable. We're over the time there, so let's go back and talk about the rest of these. I definitely need to spend time and go through these and whatever. We have an express buyer program still. Fill out the form, email the information over. It can't be any more cut and dry than that. My investors, right? You're in the main program. The investors in the lower program don't get this. This is for my investors in this program. Click it, fill out the form, send me over the paperwork. I'll call you. We'll talk about the deal. I like talking about deals. Think Like Me was really for Stephen, one of our wonderful members who was stuck in bed after surgery. I'm still trying to stick stuff in there. Videos, audio, whatever I can think of. Lower program doesn't have any of the stuff I'm showing you. The archives are not with the lower members. You should go through them. But don't get strung out about it. I'm going to improve all this, and I realized before I shot this video the stuff I have to improve and add. So if you're on this call watching going, what will the system look like in the future? So there's going to be a simplified library for your first through 100th meeting. It's only going to be one of 100 documents. I need to create some what's your Thanksgiving weekend, Lee? Creating new stuff so I could shoot this video so that I could start charging this amount next week. It's kind of pissing me off. But I realize how much work I have to do to go after this. So if you're watching this, go ahead and load up your questions. If you haven't signed up, I highly recommend signing up, because this particular group is getting so much more. So much more. Oh my gosh, you guys get so much more. Are there questions? Boy, did I just crapped all over this presentation horribly. It happens. Yes, I know it's very bizarre looking at this.